All right, relative clauses are basically really how to form relative clauses. Relative clauses are something we have in English and Latin just as much. And basically they're a chance to kind of elaborate on something or someone to give a little more detail about something or someone that you might have reason to give more detail about. So I'm going to take a few Latin sentences that have relative clauses, and I'm going to, or actually two Latin sentences about different things. I'm going to combine them into Latin sentences that have relative clauses so you can kind of see how they're formed and how the relative pronoun relates to the noun that it's helping create a clause to describe, and how it also acts independent of that. Great. Now that I think I've sufficiently confused you, we're going to go forward, and I hope that this unconfuses you. All right, so Salvius. We have two sentences here, Salvius est dominus and Salvius est crudelis. All right, so Salvius is a master and Salvius is cruel, and we really don't need this to be two separate sentences. It would be better if they were combined as one. There's multiple ways to do this, but right now we're focusing on relative clauses. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to rewrite the second sentence by replacing it with a relative clause that matches Salvius. And by that I mean in the second sentence, Salvius is nominative and singular and masculine. So I need a nominative, singular, masculine relative clause form. So that's why I use qui. All right, now that I've got that form there, replacing Salvius in the second sentence, we can talk about changing things by just making it one sentence. And then, lastly, moving that relative clause to be next to the word it's describing. So that's basically how relative clauses can be formed out of two sentences. The relative clause is just like the word it's describing in the sentence Salvius because it's also singular and it's masculine. But it's almost like, just like you see in these previous sentences here, it's almost like it's its own separate sentence. And so in that sense, it needs to be a subject, so it takes the nominative form. So we're going to see this a couple of times. Rufilla is a wife. Rufilla is annoying. So we're just going to take Rufilla, replace her with a nominative, singular, feminine form of the relative pronoun. Make it one sentence, move it next to her, and now we have Rufilla, who is annoying, is a wife. Do it a second time or third time. The wine is very good. The wine is in the cup. So we're going to take that. We're going to replace wenum with singular, neuter, and nominative because it's in the cup. Move it, make it one sentence, move it over next to it, and it becomes the wine which is in the cup is very good. All right. Now we're going to actually take these and we're going to make them direct objects, and that's what's going to make it stand out. So Salvius is, Braggins is lazy, and Salvius punches Braggins. So we're going to take Braggins, and now in the second sentence, Braggins is the accusative direct object, so we actually will replace him with a direct object, singular masculine form. So we have Salvius quem pulsat. We're going to move that to the beginning of that part of that sentence. And we'll move the whole relative clause over next to Braggins. So now Braggins, whom Salvius punches, is lazy. Notice that although quem is masculine and singular like Braggins, it is now the direct object of its own little sentence. So it becomes accusative. Let's try that again. Domitilla is a slave girl, and Volubilis loves Domitilla. So therefore, now Domitilla is going to be accusative in that second one. So we're going to use the accusative singular feminine form. So we're going to move it to the beginning, quam volubilis amat, because it always starts the relative clause. We're going to move it next to Domitilla. Domitilla, whom Volubilis loves, is a slave girl. And notice again that the quam is a direct object of Volubilis' love. Therefore, it is in the accusative, even though it's matching Domitilla, which is nominative. That's the basics of how relative pronouns work in relative clauses.